it's Jesse here. Really sorry about not being able to provide any match commentary in the first game. But anyway, thank you for joining us in the Battle Royale quarter-final game between Samurai Pandas and KGB-B team. So we've already had the first game, and that was a win for KGB-B. A hide in the game, which is very interesting. Both KGB players went for a rush, and it looked like Samurai Pandas had kind of fended that off and walled up and dealt with it, but the pressure just kept on coming, and it just proved to be too much for Samurai Pandas to hold off, especially KGB Hardcore. He just had a huge mass of tool units and managed to breach Magma's wall and get through, and then it's just constant pressure after that, with KGB-B team taking the victory. So we're into game 2 now. Let's have a quick look. So we have KGB Hardcore quite low on villagers. Looks like he's gone for a very quick tour. I'm not sure what his game plan is. For boats on this side, we have Magma already putting pressure on Jojo with clubbers now turning into axe transitions, like lag there, and that clubber evolving into an axeman, but should be doing that shortly. No armor, interesting, but he has the attack upgrade, so these wheels are just going to get cornered here. Potentially all going to go down. So there's some pretty strong kills already for Samurai Panda. Pretty effective play with those axes. So apologies, we couldn't get a professional caster, so you have me again. This is the second time I'm trying to do this and just provide some kind of match commentary, so just try and keep people engaged, I guess, a little bit as we watch these matches unfold. So Magma continuing the pressure here with those axes. Notice what's happening here, but Jojo is trying to he's definitely Magma to prevent his counter enter. I'm just going to slow Magma down a little bit, but this is the kills. No kills yet for Yellow. Much superior ecos for Samurai Pandas at the moment. Kind of a little bit of a stalemate over this side. Mario looking to go for quite a big wall potentially. Maybe already has one eye on bronze. Just making a small distracting army of slings. Magma continuing the pressure. Yellow's moved his eco over here, so he's kind of relatively safe for a little bit of time, but I'm still trying to desperately scout out Yellow's eco and just hasn't really ventured over to this part of the map yet. So Magma Minoan, obviously going to be a super strong Civ. Magma can transition into Bronze Age and Compies, potentially dominate the sea. So Yellow just falling behind on the veal count. KGB Hardcore is managing. Last game we saw him with a really strong eco all the time. that he was fighting throughout the game, and you know, this time he's matching Mario with Eco as well. Kind of a lot of respect over this side of the map. So we see blue eco 44 population. Let's have a look at Mario. So it's kind of similar. So blue is just really pushing ahead with eco. He's I'm sure Mario's been distracted a little bit on the C. Blue definitely took the initiative there, and we saw he made a super early tool age transition into docks, and looks like he kind of put most his wheels on wood and just pumped fishing boats and scout ships, and Mario's chosen to go for a faster bronze, so let's see what he can do with this, see if he can make that effective. Jojo is creeping, sneaking behind Magma's base. I just didn't get that all off. It's very unfortunate. Magma having to run again. We saw last game was absolute devastation when Mario and Magma had to run, and their villagers kind of met up in the middle of the map for a nice little cuddle, but just before their time was called. So we'll see Magma's putting his whole eco into a very dangerous position on the map, but he's kind of got no choice at the moment. So you see, blue is just really strong eco, really big population, and Mario's kind of fallen behind quite a bit, I would say. It looked like he had time to build up his eco, but he's obviously gone to bronze, made that decision to go to bronze. Definitely not the unit of choice really against this annoying little pump of slings from blue. So Magma really under a lot of pressure here. If blue keeps this economic pump going, it's not going to find it too difficult to just lend a hand to Jojo and just kind of do a quick double up on Magma here, so it could be quite devastating for Magma. Timeline is leaning towards KGB, definitely, with Blue's just got really strong eco rocking here. Kills are definitely in favour of Samurai Pandas, as well as a few more tech advances, but you know, also the fact that yellow has really been kind of exposed here with Magma's early pressure. Magma's really living on the edge here. He's taking a big risk and kind of needs Mario to definitely kind of take control over this side of the map and prevent Hardcore from getting too powerful. Hardcore's still tall though, you know, he's definitely had the pop, but he hasn't really been able to transition effectively and quickly, maybe enough for Mario. So Mario's now massing bronze units, and this could potentially make all the difference, really. So thank you, Easy Bro. We have kindly pointed out how I can check the resources. So Hardcore is into bronze and has 4 stables now pumping Cav. He's gone for Cav initially. I think that's because he's aware that Mario is definitely, you know, getting the numbers on together with a potentially lethal army of bronze units. And yeah, Hardcore looks really kind of in control at the moment. Scrappy battles on this side of the map. Magma's just totally exposed, and we saw in the last game actually he got pushed out of his base, and this happened again, and he's really not got a safe place to go to at the moment. He's under a lot of pressure from Jojo. With, I guess Jojo has been weakened, but he's definitely continued to be very, very irritating. And this is the threat that I was talking about earlier. If Mario's not quick enough here, then they're just gonna double up on Magma. It's gonna be devastating. Artifact win, the first in the Battle Royale potentially. 800 years left. It's going to be an absolute shocker. Is Mario even aware of this? Is he, you know, this line of sight? He could definitely try and scout this out. I mean, he's not even noticed this. So Mario's definitely starting to, I would say, consolidate his base camp, and by almost now having enough units to separate into 2 armies. So close to getting that artifact, just a couple of tiles away. Incredible. Has he seen it? Will he know? He obviously has seen it, but is he focusing on it? Yeah, I think he's going to. I think Hardcore's not also realising that this could be an artifact. He's not he's not tucking that artifact away into his base. Hardcore is pushing his fishing boats up on the sea. He's just trying to gain those extra resources, but he hasn't got a lot of land to spread out onto. Actually, this kind of battleground here is if Hardcore can't push through onto this part of the map, he's going to find it a real struggle because he's going to run out of wood. He's nearly run out of wood already. Magma's not completely out of it, so he's going to be quite much back still. So really there's no safe space yet for KGB to expand into, so they have to do something right now, I think, to hold off the pressure from Samurai Pandas. I mean, Yellow kind of sneaked into here, but he's not set up any vills, any kind of eco in this area, so kind of the scraps here and there scrapping around on the sea, but I think the real battle is going to be this part of the map here, and Mario is definitely in a strong position now. Difference is closing. It's, we're seconds away really from Samurai Pandas taking the lead there. They're definitely going to find out soon. I mean, Hardcore has got some wood, but the population's down. Mario's eco is rocking. Magma is definitely struggling. However, he's not really that far off Jojo. So if Mario's got a good farming eco, he's got a lot of map control potentially. It's really going to be difficult for Hardcore to push in this area. Not that you need this area right now, but he's going to run out of resources soon, and he's going to need to push out. And I don't see where he's going to be able to at this moment in time. Looks like GG for Samurai Pandas here. It's possible for KGB to come back now. I mean, Jojo just can't do anything on this side really. It's just been fighting around with tool units here and there and stuff, but the real battle was over here. We saw this side very much like a standoff early on, but Mario's just great map control, great kind of wall off early on in the game. He didn't even complete complete the wall actually. It's kind of interesting. He just wanted to focus his advance along this side. It's paid off here. Lion Age Mario. This is gonna make this a very interesting contest. It's gonna be 1-1 now after this game. Best of 5. KGB-B call it 1-1. 1-1 Battle Royale quarterfinal. The second quarterfinal that's actually happened. With all players showing up after the disappointment of the last two games. We've now have a 1-1. It's going to shape up for a really good bow 5. Let's have a look at the statistics. So Mario just kind of coming back here. That early bronze really paid off actually. He's kind of, we saw that hardcore was pumping slings still, but Mario just expanded, got stronger and stronger. That was it really. Testing, testing. Hi everyone, so sorry about this. I'm absolute complete noob at this sort of thing. I was talking away to myself there, and I had some issues earlier with the mic and had to restart the game. Then had to fiddle around with some settings and OBS and stuff, so apologies. Yeah, I've got rid of the music, but obviously I'm trying to kind of take a little bit of the game here, but clearly I wasn't, you couldn't hear for the last sort of 10 or 15 minutes or so, so sorry about that. So we had, so it's 1-1, this is the second quarter-final to take place, and it's the third game. Looks like Samurai Pandas are definitely going to take this game at this stage. I mean, I can't see how KGB are going to recover from this. I think there's too much pressure now from Mario close to Hardcore's home. He's going to have to switch back, he's going to have to go in defense mode, and he's walking with his army back to defend. He's going to have to kind of cancel his advance over here. By doing this as well, his military is potentially going to kind of get fragmented. He's, you know, sort of torn between wanting to move forward but also having to come back and defend, and Mario's just got this like progressive pump of units out from, you know, this collection of archery ranges. Just looks more a steady kind of flow of units. We'll see what happens though, because Hardcore's a really good player, as we've seen. See how they win the little micro wars. Definitely Hardcore is holding his own. Hardcore is holding his own here. But Mario is a very advanced, skilled player and a lot of experience. I'm not sure too much about Hardcore, how long he's been playing, but Mario is definitely what I understand, a legend of the game. So Magma is just really, really on the back foot again. In all games we've seen, he's just really been struggling to get a rhythm going. Just constantly running around the map, and yeah, you know, he is doing some damage. He's definitely getting some kills, but maybe that's the gameplay. Maybe the strategy for Samurai Pandas is that Magma kind of goes a bit suicide-y, and Mario just goes super eco. Both deciding on the compy mix. Compy being the preferred choice. Yeah. Preferred weapon, preferred unit of choice here. So 1-1's really close game actually. I think really close contest. It looks like Samurai Pandas are gonna going to get the victory in this game. Potentially, though, if Jojo can definitely kind of cement an economic advantage, which is clearly kind of showing that he is over Magma, that may come into play soon. But both players in INH, Mario going for Tower Pawn, and that's really going to affect Blue's eco now, and looks like this is potentially the moment where I don't think Blue is going to be able to switch into units quickly enough to deal with this. Mario's seen there's an opportunity here to just completely wreck this whole network of this whole economic network, and I don't think Hardcore's going to be able to respond to this. He's going for the way of Samurai Pandas. You can see on the minimap here, you can see the dominance of Mario all over the map. And you look at his eco, 217, like 20 pop, and Blue is just down to 50 now. And although Magma is still in tool age, I don't think Jojo is going to be able to really do anything here to deal with Mario either, to be honest with you. So, I'm not sure why KGB is still playing, to be. I mean, it looks like a clear, decisive victory for Samurai Pandas. I think, you know, definitely going to go into this final game. Definitely going to take this game maybe 2-1, and desperate attempt really from Hardcore to move his eco over to the other side of the map. But it's not going to be enough, and Jojo's, you know, he's tried to bounce back with his economy, but yeah, maybe kind of getting slightly the better of Magma in the early stages of the game, but Magma's clearly done enough damage to slow Jojo and keep him out of the game pretty much most of the time. And he's just cleaning up now with buildings and towers and units, so it's got to be GG any moment. timeline pretty much completely out of it. I'm surprised they haven't actually called it by now. I'm not sure what they think the back into the game. I mean, Mario's just so strong. He's just everywhere. Compies just flooding the map, towers everywhere. You know, even I mean, they're going to easily deal with a few horse archers that Hardcore has. Some sort of psychological tricks to prolong the game and kind of frustrate someone to make mistakes in the next game. I don't know. I think KGB should just fold here and just call it, and so we can move on to the next game, really, because there's pretty much no way back. If you look at the kills of Mario, he's just absolutely obliterated them. And Magma's definitely done some damage here. Hogwarts tried, but like I said earlier, when he had to give up that advance over here with his compies and send everything back to defend, kind of failed to get the upper hand with his advance, and really from there it was just this clean sweep of this kind of progressive advance, this constant flow of compies coming up from Mario all the way, and then just transitioned into tower plants really all over. Okay, and they finally call it. It's a 2-1 Samurai Pandas. Really good play, I think, from Mario. I mean, yeah, he was defensive, but it paid off. He got the result, and that's all he needed to do. And he had complete control over his map. He had a huge amount of town centres out really quickly on in the game. Blue was always a little bit behind on eco. He did try and push with slings. He did try and push with compies and be the aggressor, but I think Mario's just got very strong defensive skills. Definitely haven't seen that in the Battle Royale so far, this kind of tower rush, this tower push, but very effective because obviously Blue had horse archers and compies, and he really had no answer to those towers. Magma getting back in the game there, getting out of Tall Age and straight into Iron. So yeah, let's move into game 4.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so we have game number 4, and it's narrows. So we had 2 highlands, 1 coastal, I think, and now narrows. So, so let's see. So we've got magma as Yamato, potentially looking for a fast scout rush. We've seen every single game so far, Magma has just really thrown himself into the action. I'm not sure whether it's always been his choice, but he's like, as soon as he's seen some aggression from Jojo, which he's been faced up against most of the time, he's just responded with everything. And he's just been really kind of super aggressive, but just finding it really difficult to then get a kind of decent sort of safe area of the map to consolidate and kind of advance from there. But Magma and Jojo have definitely had some really good scraps so far. So we're now into game 4. It's 2-1 to Samurai Pandas. They lost the first game. We saw amazing play from Hardcore in game 1. But the next 2 games, Mario just had a superior eco throughout and just a really good rhythm to his game. Okay, looks like we're going to have a restart.
Oh yeah. Yes. I need food.
So Mario saying 3 minutes 3 seconds, calling a restart at this exact time, and then making a point about it. Maybe, I'm not sure. But earlier on in game 1, well, the first game we launched, Jojo called a restart in 3 minutes 3 seconds. So we won't waste any more time. We'll go straight back to the lobby.
Yes. No. Oh yeah. Yes.
Okay, so we're attempting game number 4 again. 2-1 Samurai Pandas. This is a quarterfinal game in the Battle Royale AOEDE 2v2 tournament, where we have many top players from the community playing. Not everyone, of course, but we have a lot of top players. So the first quarterfinal saw TLC beat SH 3-0, and the second quarterfinal was very unfortunate. We tried as best as possible to arrange a game between Max Trolls and ROD, Rush or Die, I believe that stands for. Unfortunately, very close to the start of the game, we kind of hadn't heard anything from ROD, and then shortly after it became clear that they weren't going to show up, or they couldn't, or whatever happened. So we respect that they tried, and to be fair, Max Trolls did say they'd be happy to reschedule if ROD wanted to do that, but their response was that that's okay. They said they'd just forfeit the match. So this everyone's got loads of other things going on, so in life, so if you can't make a match, and that's fine. It is what it is, but the tournament goes on, I guess. And again, we had a little bit of a disappointment today. We were going to have Legend versus KGB-A. However, I believe Black Waltz had to rush off. There's some sort of emergency, so I hope everything's okay there with him. And I think that's rescheduled for next Tuesday at, I have to double check on the time, but it's all going to be in the Discord. So yeah, we've got just one more quarterfinal remaining. This bracket is such that TLC will face Max Trolls in a semi-final Bow 7, so that's going to be a huge game. There has been a little bit disappointment around the quarterfinal games being delayed or things like that, but cancelled and stuff. But that semi-final is going to be absolutely epic. It's going to be worth all the wait, and we're going to see two top amazing teams face off against each other. And a Bow 7. This is random map, random civ, huge map. Part of the reason for a huge map was that we would, not just see a sling warfare in every game, or kind of scout rush on potentially not as much kind of fun, excitement, and diversity to the game maybe if we just set a large map. So we set a huge map for the tournament, 2v2, but it still means that we could, anything is possible, anything goes. Could be tool warfare, could be, you know, on the rush on the sea, could be bronzing, fast bronze, defensive eco, you know, defensive into iron. All sorts of strategies could potentially be adopted with this type of tournament setting. So I think it's working quite well. We're seeing a real mixture of games, and yeah, the Battle Royale continues. It's alive, and we're gonna see more and more kind of close battles and really tight games potentially as we progress into these knockout stages. So anyway, let's focus on this game. So we have KGB Hardcore. He's looking. Let's see his veal count. So he's got a slight veal lead at the moment. Couple of docks out, keeping the docks close together. He obviously wants to produce scout ships in close to each other and make sure that he can protect or take control of the sea before he sort of spreads along this coast and into this section here, for pick up some food, resources, etc. So we're potentially going to see a big sea fight coming up. Mario, I've seen Mario in games with a slightly less population size in tool, or just slightly behind the veals. I'm not exactly sure why that is. I haven't necessarily studied his gameplay, but he seems to just quickly sort of boom up and stuff once he gets going. So maybe a lot of the early games looking for positioning, looking around the map, and just taking, you know, sort of building a picture of how he's going to play the game, what strategy he's going to apply and things like that. So Jojo's definitely falling behind on villagers here. He's not managed to keep up with the others. I'm not entirely sure. Oh, it's palmy, so obviously that kind of explains it. Sorry about that. 2-1 Samurai Pandas. If they get this victory here, that's going to be quarter-final victory for them. KGB-B, remember, beat KGB-A in the group stage. Those teams were drawn against each other, and yeah, they did really well against KGB-A in that game. And they did well in the first game here, and obviously, you know, the next two games have been pretty close, I'd say, but I think Samurai Pandas are starting to prove maybe they're just slightly above them in skill level, but we'll see, you know, still got this game to go. We'll see what happens. So Magma on 32 pop. Hardcore is really winning the pop race at the moment. Jojo, some early aggression here. Magnum not really dealing with this particularly well. It's not too bad, he's lost one boat, I guess, but she's going to get picked off. Jojo is spreading along this coastline. We saw him slightly down on villagers a moment ago, so let's just see if he's managed to catch up. He kind of has actually catched up a bit with Samurai Pandas, and Hardcore is in the lead here with Eco and Pop. Mario's also spread out his docks slightly, but is grouping his scout ships into this section here. Jojo's aggression seems to be paying off. He's now actually focusing on Mario, so Mario's going to get doubled now. Magma's been pretty cautious at home, cautious about the potential landing from Jojo. So Mario getting doubled on the sea. Got Micro coming in there from Jojo. Mario's not going to be happy about this. He needs his teammate who isn't really on the sea right now, but they've both gone for Bronze Age, so quite clearly they think that they can win the sea with just kind of avoiding a mass scout ship battle and getting the upgrade quickly onto their warships. But Blue's also up to bronze, and Jojo's still in tall, but let's check his eco. So KGB with better eco at the moment, looking pretty strong. That bow, Jojo not noticing that, maybe he would have focused on those veils a little bit there. He's having to retreat. Tech coming in for Magma. 2-1 Samurai Pandas, game number 4. Can KGB come back into this? Can they equalise this contest, and we'll see a deciding match in game number 5? Or will Samurai Pandas sweep to victory here and book their place in the semi-final? So that's what you call a teammate, right? Magma just lending a hand, repairing Mario's boats. Didn't send any army to help Mario, but kindly repairing his boats for him. It's a really good gesture. Jojo's still in tall, but he's holding off Magma here. Meanwhile, Hardcore is looking strong still. He's looking very strong with this army here. But there's always this like great level of respect in the early game between Hardcore and Mario. They just don't want to give the other you know, too much of an advantage. They're both kind of holding back a little bit. Now they're engaging. Mario retreating a little bit here, just getting some more reinforcements. Blue trying to micro, Mario pushing back. A little bit scrappy there from Blue. Maybe just kind of overly kind of retreating a bit too quickly there. Maybe could have stood his ground a bit more, got some more kills, but Mario looks pretty strong now. He's pushing up a lot of boats. Jojo's coming in to help him. Jojo's coming in to help Hardcore. looking actually pretty strong here. This could be a close game. Now Mario and Magma kind of linking up for the first time on the sea. Blue is probably wondering why has Kojo pushed back all that way. He needs him right now. You know, Jojo hasn't got the upgrade, but still, Hardcore needs support right now. He has got some decent numbers of scout ships. Samurai Pandas are looking strong now. I would say they're definitely got the upper hand on that battle. They're still pretty close. You see KGB-B's sea ecos is potentially under a huge threat here. Pushing back. This is a pretty good game. This is a very, very intense sea battle, and all in this kind of section of the map. There's not even any small kind of scouting armies around the other sections of the islands. The whole kind of fight is happening here. Now they're splitting up a little bit, and potentially both teams now looking to maybe meet their forces in the middle for kind of one epic showdown right around here. Or are they going to engage separately? No, Jojo's looking to close in on Mario here, and this could be really big because Magma's pulled his fishing ships back. He's pulled his galleys back, but Mario's now he's now faced with another 2v1 situation. Happy about this. You know, there's no amount of repairing boats that's going to make up for this lack of support from Magma, but now here it comes. Here it comes. And at the same time, Magma has managed to land and paint forward building. It's going to distract KGB a bit. Maybe they're seeing that, maybe they're putting back, maybe they're having to rethink their strategy here. Quick response from Jojo there, picking off Magma's forward wheel. It's going to slow Magma's advance down a lot. He's still pumping out a couple of units there, but very intense sea battle. This is probably the best game we've seen so far in terms of closeness. So many resources. Blue's very, very strong. He's got a lot of wood still. See that production. All docks working flat out to produce army. And let's have a look at Jojo. It's a little bit down on pot. Let's compare him to Magma. Magma's got a slight advantage there. Some tech upgrades coming in for his land units. He's going for shield on infantry, so he possibly thinks that Jojo might be switching to an archer unit soon. Now Magma faces a doubling situation on the sea. KGB really linking up well here. Really impressed with their solid gameplay on the sea. But will it be enough? Because Samurai Pandas are definitely got this kind of strategy going on in previous games where Magma was kind of like a little bit like Brian. Mario just had a kind of real focus on moving up in a big way. Jojo dealing with those units pretty easily, and I don't believe Magma has any forward builds on Jojo's island, so this looks like it's going to be cleared up pretty quickly. KGB now pushing forward, and they've worked really effectively in 2v1 situations there. You know, they dealt with Magma, they're now going to try and deal with Mario, although Jojo can potentially actually support Hardcore now to fight off Mario. This could be a big battle. If they get a surround on Mario here, Hardcore could potentially do the whole thing on his own. He may not even need Jojo, but it seems like a bit of a waste to have so many boats here when just wants to close off Magma the sea even more, but Hardcore is dealing with this pretty well. He's pushed Mario right back into this kind of block. He's blocked him right off here, and Mario needs to change his gather points so that it doesn't just send units into this fleet that Hardcore has. And it looks like Mario actually may be giving up the sea. We'll see. But it's just been producing from these docks over there. Blue is very strong, and Mario's problem is actually very struggling. Look at Jojo on the minimap, he's just his colours just advancing in all over Samurai Pandas. This is a really close game. But it looks like the upper hand is swinging to KGB. They have definitely taken control on the sea now, and Hardcore is getting a forward paint. He's getting Egyptian compies. Compies is definitely the unit of choice. Timeline. Mario is struggling. We saw him in a lot of situations face 2v1 on the sea. There's 2 or 3 significant moments where he was 2 against him on the sea. KGB linking up really well. Defensive towers going up for Mario, but siege workshop already prepared, and the mix of units coming up for Hardcore. This is really smart gameplay, but Samurai Pandas take the score lead, so you know they're obviously doing something right behind the scenes. Mario loves his towers. We saw that in the last game, more so offensively, but he's been quick to actually block off this advance from Hardcore. The pressure on the sea is just intense now, and that means that KGB should, in theory, be able to mop up the rest of the kind of food on the sea, and that could give them a huge advantage as they go into iron, get some more expensive techs underway, etc. So let's see, we see Hardcore now pushing his boat units around, just trying to maybe check if Mario's trying to rebuild on the sea here, maybe send some over to here to kind of finish off Magma's attempt to maybe start building back on the sea. But this mix of units is looking really effective. I mean, Mario's responding, but he's making upgrades. KGB have got some upgrades. KGB just linking up really well. Forward part coming in for Jojo. Huge amount of pressure on Magma here. This game potentially looking for a 2-2 situation. This is going to be a really epic quarterfinal if it gets to 2-2. You're going to have a big match, big game next game. It's going to be the decider. Let's survive. Look at the timeline. KGB getting a slight advantage, and Hardcore's up to Iron Age. It's difficult to say what KGB have done wrong in this game. You know, they didn't look like they were in control all the time. Mario did have to deal with some 2v1 situations on the sea, and it just proved too much. And now this aggression from KGB is gonna just, you know, run riot potentially in Samurai Pandas land. The camel transition to flanks is a potentially really good decision. Don't know if, I mean, these guys, the KGB guys, have really transitioned the units well, I'd say. They teased some camels, even some compies came out. Let's not forget that, you know, there's a little bit of an advance of compies, but they've quickly switched. They've quickly mixed things up here. And it looks like this game is going to go to KGB-B. Let's see if Samurai Pandas can answer to this. So the kills are really in favour of KGB. Eco, surprisingly, JoJo's a bit lower, but they're struggling on land, and they're pretty much lost to sea, Samurai Pandas. So this game is KGB's to lose. Magma tried to paint on JoJo's island, but he lost his feel here when he tried to quick wall. But as we know, you can still get attacked by a non-ranged unit through this kind of diagonal bit between the tiles here. So he's hiding his build there, but the cav was here. And then that just kind of faded, he didn't send any more villagers, and just since that moment and since the 2v1s, it's just been all KGB. But Samurai Pandas are now back into a point lead. Is that temporary? Is that temporary? I mean, you know, they may have got some techs on the go. They've obviously got some conversions, which is really helping. You know, Mary's a smart player. You definitely can't kill him quickly. Magma is still not. Is telling JoJo, you know, I'm not out of the sea yet. I'm not giving up yet. He's still, you know, he's still making a point on that. Very much defensive play from Samurai Pandas, but I mean, usually the advantage does lie with the aggressor and AOEDE. Just having his presence on Mario's land, and Mario's running out of wood. I mean, he's got no more wood left in the safe this bit here, but JoJo may be being a little bit slow to boom up here on his map and spread out, and, you know, he has been trying, to be fair, and he's got these upgrades. Both teams building a wonder at almost as so Magma's responded to Hardcore building a wonder. This is a really big surprise. I mean, the game doesn't seem to me like it. The game didn't seem like it would go down the wonder route, but really close game. Look at this change around in the points. We saw that Samurai came back into lead just slightly on points, but was probably while Jojo was working on some things behind the scenes to get to Iron, and as soon as he got to Iron, he's got some upgrades, and KGB back on top on points, and Magma is all out of wood. He's out of wood, completely out of wood. Jojo's got a huge amount of resources left on his map. So let's have a look. Got KGB Hardcore has played really, really well. Very, very impressed with the KGB boys in this game. Super impressed by them. I mean, they've just linked up so well. Yeah, I mean, not even GG, just resign. Maybe a bit frustrated there by the 2v1 situations on the sea that really paved the way, I think, for KGB to assert their dominance and take control of the sea. Really, really good game. Possibly even the best game of the tournament. And so that means we go into the decider. Game number 5, 2-2 between KGB-B and Samurai Pandas. Very, very close game. Very, very close game. So we've just feels like this tournament is back alive now. I mean, there's a lot of disappointment around the other two quarterfinals not going ahead, different reasons. But we've now got we've now been treated to this really close encounter. So I think Mario did really well to hold off Hardcore's advance on his land, but I think ultimately, I think the damage was done on the sea. I think the KGB boys won the sea. The moment where Magma tried to paint, he pulled his boats back temporarily, and the KGB boys got surround on Mario, if I remember rightly. And
No.
I think Samurai Pandas were on the back foot from that moment on.
Oh yeah.
So hopefully in the next game, we'll have the pro casters back. So I'm just doing this really just because no one else is around. So I kind of thought I'd chip in a little bit, but yeah, had quite a lot of technical issues at the start. This is new to me, so I'm not really used to doing this. So apologies if I'm, not focusing on the right areas of the map. Not checking the resources or the timeline, or referencing the civs enough. like I said, hopefully by the hopefully in the next quarter, in the final remaining quarterfinal, and certainly the semi-finals, we'll have Albert back streaming, possibly Veritas, and maybe even first appearance from Winston Waffles in the tournament. So I know that he's obviously a well-known caster, so it'd be great if he could lend a hand and certainly cast those final, at least one of those final games. Semi-final is going to be a bow 7, best of 7. The first semi-final is going to be Max Trolls versus TLC, and the second semi-final is going to be one of these teams against either KGB-A or Legend. So KGB-A is Black Waltz, KGB Crazy, and KGB Summers, I believe. And Legend are Vertix and Morik. So it's going to be one of those teams, and their semi-finals on Tuesday. It's going to be one of them against the winner of this game. So game number 5, Coastal. Potential restart from Samurai Pandas. I believe they have one left to use. Yep, they've called it. Let's try and see why that was. So Magma not liking his map. Yeah, kind of a bit awkward really. But yeah, I don't want to try and work out that too much. So it's 2-2. A great game. Really, really close. Actually, I was very surprised that all the players turned up on time today. There seems to be like a theme where like every game is at least 20 minutes late, and obviously we had a couple of recent quarterfinal games that didn't even go ahead. Some players not even showing up. But for different reasons, so it's fair enough. But yeah, I just feel the tournament is back, alive and kicking, and this is a great game to lead us into the semi-finals. We've got the last quarterfinal on Tuesday, KGB-A versus Legend, and let's see who's victorious in this game. Lots to play for. Okay, 2-2, Samurai Pandas versus KGB-B. So we have Narrows. Narrows map, always unpredictable. Never know exactly where the crossings are going to be, or the structure and the layout of the map. Very, very challenging maps to play. You've got to be highly adaptable in maps like this. A skill I kind of don't possess, unfortunately, but a lot of players in this tournament do. So let's see how this game unfolds. Samurai Pandas definitely have the faster civs. They have Carthaginian, some extra resources at the start. It's gonna help Mario maybe quickly get a dock up. His wood line is not great at all. I mean, really, this is pretty terrible for him. Even if he pits here, he can't even pit there, I don't think. For Magma, sorry. For Magma, his wood line is not great. Really, really not great. He's going to be pretty disappointed about that. I mean, it's there. Obviously, there's wood there, but it's just not. He's Karth, so that does help, I guess. But so Mario probably trying to push those Gazelle further away from Jojo, and he's definitely distracted Jojo and caused a real nuisance. You know, I guess this feels done his job really. He's been a right pain in the backside, and obviously that's gonna kind of disrupt Jojo's pattern here. Jojo, I don't think is happy with that. He's now moving his wheel forward, and maybe he wants to retaliate a little bit. And Yamato, with the speed bonus on their veal speed, is going to chase this veal down. The Crocodile has his aggroed on Mario. Mario's veal escaping with 1 hit point. Oh, ambitious lure by Mario. 1 HP veal, but still pulling off the lure. That's a sign of a top player. No sloppiness, no margin for error. And let's have a quick look at the statistics. So we have Jojo's behind the villagers. That definitely did affect him, I think. You know, even just to really be a massive distraction. You know, little things like that can make a player lose their concentration. They can make mistakes elsewhere. So you don't necessarily. You might just think, you know, a few deer, you know, a few gazelle kind of moved a little bit, a few tiles out, but the whole fact that he had to chase Mario's veal away and had to take time dealing with that, and maybe paying the price there with a little bit low, a bit of a delay on village count. Okay, Clubber coming out for Jojo, but Mario getting the wall off, and Magmaville's coming this way. This is interesting. We've got all 4 players colliding in this spot. Fordville's from Hardcore. He obviously came over this crossing and was seen trying to get the quick wall, but probably best to run. He's gonna... Jojo's coming in and helping him, so actually it's kind of worked out in their favor in the end. Magma potentially losing a couple of vills. He's lost one there. So Magma managing to pick off one of Hardcore's vills, but dying in the process as well to Jojo. Let's have a look at the statistics. So we have Jojo still lagging behind on villagers. 10 minutes into the game, all up to tall age. None of the players have really sort of made their mark on the water yet. I mean, pretty much all going for land. As they're scouting around, they're going to see the opportunities potentially to kind of get the Rico rocking on the sea with some fishing boats, but at the moment everything is focused on land. This is the game decider, remember. This is 2-2. The winner of this goes through to the semi-final, the Battle Royale AOE 2v2 tournament. Random map, random civs. First semi-final, TLC versus Max Trolls. Second semi-final will be the winner of this game versus either KGB-A or Legend in that quarter-final game, which will take place on Tuesday. So the KGB boys are linking up well. We saw how effective they were together in last game on the sea. This game and fighting on land will definitely require more sort of dynamic gameplay. You know, this means that Magma is free at the moment. He's not homing in on Hardcore, who has managed to wall off this whole section, but again, he kind of leaves himself a little bit, not too bad, a little bit short of food, of wood I was going to say, but this is not too bad. We've just seen in a few of the previous games when Hardcore's needed to like push out, it's not easy being able to do so. Magma putting the pressure on Jojo. Jojo trying to defend with slings, but not looking, taking his eye off the ball for a second, just giving those slings some extra hits. Really ineffective play by Jojo there. Magma definitely controlling that situation and keeping those slings alive. He has kind of made a bit of a sloppy mistake there. He's definitely being a nuisance. Blue, Hardcore may be realising that he needs to, it's not just going to be as simple as focusing on this section of the map, and he, you know, senses the danger from Magma and maybe seems a bit indecisive about where to go with these slings. I mean, there's nowhere to go in this bit. He's just really, these slings are all in you know, a massive downtime. They're pretty much out of the game at the moment until we can get them pressuring an enemy. Magma's still being very, very annoying to Jojo. Superior eco for hardcore. Kind of making up for Jojo's kind of falling behind there, but the Samurai boys are holding their own. They're doing pretty well this game. So we have hardcore on 60 pop and Jojo on 37. Big fight here. Big fight here between hardcore and Mario. Hardcore coming all the way over to help his teammate. Magma has to make the most of this. I mean, we saw hardcore's slings. He's got 3 barracks here. We saw his slings just walk into this dead end. He's decided that the decision was to move back to help his teammate, but it's left him under a lot of pressure here, and picking off 3 kills. He has got a decent eco rocking, he's got decent farming eco rocking, he's moving out onto the water, and Mario is also building some fishing boats. Magma and Mario are building up their their presence on the sea. Again, these blue slings are just maybe a bit slow being moved into the right places, but certainly Mario has got Jojo on the run here. He's discovering these berries as he retreats to this part of the map, and all of this focus on clearing this up, clearing Mario's pressure up, should really give the Samurai boys a kind of advantage here, I think. Jojo falling massively behind on veal count. Not many kills from hardcore. We've seen his slings kind of quite idle a bit this game. All to play for semi-final position against Legend or KGB-A. So this the players right now are probably just going absolutely crazy. The rate of clicking and moving around the map and trying to work out what they do. Blue slings finally kind of being used effectively and in a really strong way. It's really not good for Mario here. Maybe getting a bit greedy, maybe wanting to build up his eco, spread out, pick all the resources around this part of the map, but they've just moved in very quickly here. Mario's probably a little bit slow to sort of wall off or repair and fortify this section of the map, and hardcore have moved. KGB boys linking up beautifully again for this advance. Hardcore managing to hold off against Magma over here on this side of the map. Mario is up to bronze, so it's likely we're going to see some cav coming in any moment now. Let's have a look, and he's got 2 cav on the way, and they're definitely going to easily clear up these slings, I'd say. I mean, you probably ideally need 3. And certainly needs to group them together. He's got no upgrades, that's not going to be great. Magma taking dominance here on the sea, and this is going to really disrupt Hardcore's farming network. We saw Jojo behind in villages on the last game, but he managed to bounce back from that, and he's kind of doing that in this game as well. He's I would say he's definitely catching up. The timeline still pretty even, pretty close game so far. The sling's starting to pick off, and you know and is Mario watching this? Is he going to notice? Yep, he does. They have the wheel. They should be able to run to safety here. But the KGB boys are really, you know, they're really trying to slow Samurai Panda down. I don't know if it's going to be enough. Really, really close game. You know, 2-2. The fact this is 2-2, and the fact that this game is very, very intense, it's a real treat for the tournament, to be honest with you. It's, I think, just breathing new life back into the Battle Royale. So he's now pressurizing this farming eco. Timeline massively swinging in favour of Samurai Pandas now. They're just linking up really, really well, and Magma has definitely used that time to his advantage. You know, we saw how Mario is kind of getting 2v1'd, although there was a lot of time the blue slings were sort of wandering around, and maybe could have done more damage early on. It's easier said than done though, but that definitely gave time for Magma to just keep up the constant pressure on this side. Big score lead for Samurai Pandas. KGB-B are going to be really, really disappointed if they lose this game, because they've played so well. All the games, you know, I wouldn't say any game was one-sided. Pretty much every game was close. Obviously some closer than others, but I think in the last few minutes, Samurai Pandas just stabilised. They've massively stabilised. They've got really good map control now. This whole, you know, I'd say like 75% of the map. And, you know, I mentioned earlier about Hardcore does get the walls up in time, but when he does get pressured like this, he's pretty much got nowhere to run to. He has been trying to help his team out over this side of the map, so let's see, maybe it's not over yet. Yeah, timeline kind of suggests it is though. Let's see, Hardcore really struggling. Jojo is, yeah, this kind of looks GG. Really, really, really strong play from Samurai Pandas. Really good way they kind of didn't panic. They didn't panic with the randomness of the map. Magma has definitely shown he has a lot of skill here in just mixing up the units, and didn't want to be too quick to paint forward too quickly. He was maybe a bit nervous about throwing everything up too soon, but Hardcore has no response for this. He's lost the C. Jojo's getting cleaned up here. And this is decisive for Samurai Pandas. This is a statement to their opponent, I think. You know, maybe a bit rusty. I mean, they pretty much just played one game in the group stage for various reasons. But still qualified. We had one team drop out of Group C, and they didn't manage to get to play TLC. Still managed to beat BTK, secure second place. And, this is their second match in the tournament, and so maybe they're a little bit rusty, but game number 5 has really kind of brought out the best of them, I think. So Hardcore pretty much dead now. I fought so hard in those previous games, and Jojo's trying to make a stand, but it's just too strong. We're going up to Iron Age. Mario already at Iron. GG. GG's. Amazing. What a contest. What a fight. Really good game. Really good, great game for the tournament. KGB boys, really strong play. Really dominated that last game. Just everything was so smooth. This game, just made probably some wrong decisions. You know, Hardcore painted over here. Their double on Mario wasn't even really effective, and then Mario was just persistent in his aggression over to Jojo, and Hardcore was probably a little bit conflicted trying to defend that and help his teammate, but you know, meanwhile Magma was just really given a free pass to kind of take over, and this was, you know, feel comfortable at home, start to consolidate, push out and take the C, and it just proved too much. So yeah, really good games. Great job by Samurai Pandas. Thanks everyone for watching. I really appreciate it. So just to confirm, the semi-finalists are TLC, who beat SH in the quarterfinal 3-0, and Max Trolls, who progressed to the semi-final after AOEDE had to forfeit their game. And now we have Samurai Pandas, so we have 3 semi-finalists, and we find out on Tuesday who the last semi-finalist is going to be, and that is going to be Tuesday at 18 GMT between Legend and KGB-A. Like I said, we're gonna hopefully get the pro casters back for the remaining games, because you know, this is not something I'm really kind of used to be honest with you. A little bit nervous and stuff, and a lot of technical issues at the start, but you know, really appreciate everyone for watching, and hope you enjoy the rest of the tournament. I think it's going to be really great. I think the the TLC v Max Troll semi-final is going to be absolutely spectacular, and to see Samurai Panda now progress against Legend or KGB-A is also going to be a amazing battle. Best of 7 semi-final matches. Check out the Discord link for all the information on the tournament, and yeah, thanks for watching, really appreciate it. And like I said, hopefully Albert will be back for the remaining games, and hopefully we'll be able to get the other casters to feature the the semi-final games and certainly the grand final. Okay, so thanks everybody, I appreciate it. And 3-2 to Samurai Pandas versus KGB-B. Thank you very much.